Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I've done some shop critiques. I did a whole load of them, so I bulk filmed a whole host of them. Pretty well because we were moving and I wasn't sure on the sort of time frames as of yet. So today is the 29th of July 2019. We haven't moved yet. There's a lot more work that needed to be done in the bungalow that we've bought. So I've done a makeshift kind of place where I can do shop critiques. I hope that the sound quality and everything is still okay for you guys. And I'm just going to do a mini shop critique for Sophie here. So let's get right into it. So, Sophie, I've had a quick look at your shop. Kudos, because I love it. I think it's colourful. I think that you've really taken on board a lot of what perhaps not just me but what others have said. You know, you've definitely learnt a lot and as much as you possibly can about Etsy and how things work, and that does definitely show in your shop. You've had 1,100 sales, which is fantastic. What do you need me for? And you've been on Etsy since 2017. Letters H and C is your shop and you're based in England. So I am gonna just have a little look at my notes. So your logo, so your name is just Letters H and C. I mean, as a customer just looking at your shop, I would just kind of go, okay, that's the shop name. I do tend to kind of recommend that the shop name does reflect what you do, but when it comes to prints and things like that, your shop can change direction very, very quickly. So I do understand why you've done that. You obviously didn't want to kind of like corner yourself into just selling one specific type of print or anything like that. So I don't think that's something you need to really worry about too much. It's just something that I tend to, you know, try and, if Etsy shop owners are just starting out, I always say, look, you know, try and center your name around what you do or what you want to do. So your logo is lovely. It reminds me of one of those, what's some of these like wax seal stamp things? And I like that because obviously you're doing prints, I want to say kind of paper craft, let's say, but definitely, you know, you're in that paper, what word am I trying to think of? You're in that kind of space. So I do like your logo and how that reflects that. You've got a lovely smiling picture. I do love that picture. That made me smile so much. Maybe just zoom it in just a little bit. As a buyer, I kind of want to like know about you. I kind of want to know, you know, I want to zoom in your beautiful face and I want to see, oh hey, Sophie, hi, you know. So yeah, your branding, let's go on to that. So I like the way that you have your colour and you do focus that through in the other aspects of your branding, and I like that. Also the fonts you've kept the same as well. What I would suggest that you do, I'm just gonna have a little scroll. See, with that, that's not your logo. So I would probably, you know, if the grey is also your colour, so you've got this sort of, I don't know, is it bluey, greeny? I'm slightly colourblind, so this might like be a completely different colour to everyone watching out there. But I would incorporate this because you want this to be your brand. You want people to look at this and go, ah, Sophie shop, okay, you know. So try and not kind of steer away from this, if that makes sense. If you're happy with your logo, brilliant, use it, put it everywhere you can. You want to push your brand to all the eyes that you possibly can. If you're not, maybe revisit it and just sort of see if you can incorporate 2 to 3 colours in there so that you have more sort of leeway when it comes to other aspects of branding in your shop and on your social medias and all that kind of stuff. So you are, yes you are. So you've got the Etsy Plus layout, which I love because you have this little scrolling banner up here. Do you know what, Sophie? Make more use of this because at the minute you've just got this banner. I mean, you're paying every month, so you might as well make the most of it. So you need to kind of, I mean, I know what you're doing here and I get that. However, I don't usually like skip sections, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. The biggest thing with your shop is your target market. Now, I I'm attracted to your shop, but that's probably because it's so clean and crisp, and I find it very easy to scroll through. You know, I do find that a lot of Etsy shops, I find that, you know, they're a bit clunky, and I just find it really hard to scroll through them. But I like the fact that your shop is so easy. However, I'm struggling with your target market. So that is where this banner comes into play, because I do feel like you need to have pictures and things in this banner that attracts your target market. So, I mean, maybe you started off doing, I don't know, prints for children's rooms. Maybe you started off doing prints for single women living in London, let's say. I'm just literally taking that off the top of my head. But I do feel like you need something. So, for example, you've got beautiful personalised prints for all occasions. And I get that. I get that you don't want to like put yourself into a box. But to be honest with you, I'm going to be brutally honest here, is that if you try to appeal to everybody, you will not appeal to anybody. And I know that you've probably heard that before, and you've probably been like, yeah, whatever, you know, I'm just trying to get as many customers into my shop as I possibly can. And honestly, I understand that. As a down-to-earth, you know, full-time Etsy shop owner myself, I get that. And I get that, you know, you hear these things online and you're like, yeah, okay, all right, awesome, yeah, I'll do that at some point. But honestly, like, I can 100% vouch that when I targeted down on my target market, and I mean, when I say targeted down, I mean, I probably spent the latter half of last year, and I mean probably a good 3 months, 2 to 3 days a week, full days a week, researching target market, you know, really just delving deep so I understood my own target market and how I could find them. Now, if you download my 30 Days to a Kick Butt Etsy Shop workbook, I do go through some of the exercises that I think are really good. I have got others as well, but they are literally like in that workbook, they are some that I would recommend you do to really take in, you know, into account your target market. So definitely go and download that. I always leave a link down below in every single one of my videos, so don't worry about that. So again, just gonna mention it again, just please, maybe, I think, is it 4 slides you get, or 5? Maybe even 3. You definitely get more than 2. And to be honest, this is sort of like a, okay, yeah, I already know the shop name because it's kind of there. So yeah, I don't want to see product pictures in your banner. This banner has got to be like the sign above your door. So definitely make sure that you incorporate your logo in here somewhere. And then the next slide should be, you know, pictures that bring in your target market. So for example, if you're thinking that you are doing, I mean, I'm not saying this is your target market, but just completely pulling it out of thin air. Let's say you're doing prints for the single woman in the modern home, and in your mindset, you are, okay, so I know that my target market is women that are aged 20 to 31, that live in flats in London, that have office jobs, that, you know, like to go out with friends on the weekend, yada, 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 and you can get so detailed with this. You really want to show that in your banner. So what you want to do is you want to get one of these prints, or let's say probably that print. That's very that's a very millennial pink kind of print. But you definitely want to like have that, and you want to have it in a setting that is in a modern home, so that when your target market goes into your shop, sees your banner, they go, yeah, I can see that working in my home. So I hope that makes sense. So your shop title, we've already established that. Your tagline, so this is very SEO heavy. You definitely want to make sure that you are researching keywords for your shop. And again, in the workbook, the 30 Days to a Kick Butt Etsy Shop workbook, that is a mouthful. That is a very long name. But basically, you have to research keywords for your shop, and this is where again your target market comes into play. Target market is definitely like one of those things that if you're building a house, it's the foundation. So think of your target market as a foundation for everything that you do in your business. So definitely experiment. I know I did with this. I did find that if I change this up, now obviously don't change it up too much, change it up probably once every 3-4 months, but definitely experiment and see whether or not changing up the keywords in this does any difference for your shop, because I did find that in my shop I had more visits from Google with the tagline that I have now. So it does make a difference. So don't underestimate these little things that honestly all added up does make a big difference to your shop. By the way, I'm going to favourite your shop because I love it. So I'm just having a look at my notes. So your number, I don't know what I was doing there, your number of products. Now, I always say the same things for Etsy shop critiques when it comes to the number of items. Basically, increase the number of items that you have. And none is more important than print shops, because I assume, are you a digital download? I assume you probably mostly are digital downloads. Oh no, you're physical prints. Okay, never mind, right. This is still, wrong tab, there we go. This is still the same though, because prints on Etsy are such a big market. Honestly, they are such a, not saturated, because I don't truly believe that anything on Etsy is saturated, because yes, there might be people doing prints, but is it you? You know, are you putting your own spin on it? No. So at the end of the day, there's only one you, and you know, you're doing prints and this is your take on things. So my advice would always be to drip feed products. So I spend probably, I've just redone my schedule, and I spend once a week for about an hour, so not a lot, and I list new products. Now I don't publish these, I put it in my drafts section in my listings. I SEO research them, you know, I take my time with them, and the beauty with this method is that you don't feel pressured to, let's get them out, you know. So definitely take a look at the time that you have, because I know that, I think I read in your about section somewhere down there that you are a nurse as well, so you work. Just make a mental note, or even plan it out on a schedule. Now I will be doing another video on this at some point, but definitely make a note of what time you have for your Etsy shop, and take some of that time to bulk list products. Now for you it might be a little bit easier to do this actually, because I can see that you have a lot of fonts and things like that. So for you, you know, you might be able to do 50 prints every month to list them and put them in your drafts bit. People that knit scarves might only be able to do 20. So you are at a definite advantage with your shop, because there is so much that you can do. And I mean, it could even be small things, like I can see that you've bundled some things here. You know, that could be another listing. You could take something that already exists in your shop, or a design that you already have. You know, for example, that and that print, you know, they look nice. You could literally bundle those two together, whack it in your drafts, publish that, and then, you know, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. But the reason why I do that is purely because is that Etsy likes to see that you're working on your shop, and in reality you can't go in every single day and list something new, because you'd just be like, you'd just be tired, wouldn't you? You would people just don't have time to sit there every single day and list something new in their shop. So what I do is that I bulk list things, and then I put them in my drafts section every day or every other day nowadays, because my shop is doing fine. You know, I feel like I don't need to list something new every single day, but especially for newer shops, or shops where you're thinking, I just want to get more visits to my shop, this is definitely something to consider. So I would try and push, I always say between 30 to 50 items a month, so that you have a buffer. If you go 6 weeks without being able to get in your shop and list new things, you've then got a bit of a buffer. I would really encourage you and push you to do the full 50 every single month, and I would go into your shop every day, literally even on your phone in the app, and just publish one listing every day. And that definitely brings you up in Etsy's recency algorithm, so it's a really fantastic practice to do in your shop. So obviously as well, looking at your at the number of items that you have, I would definitely think that the more items you have, the more chances you are at being found, because the beauty with prints as well is that you have so much scope. You know, if you knit scarves, let's say, you know, you only really have a certain amount of keywords that you can use, unless you have a rainbow scarf or a purple scarf or a blue scarf. But because you've got prints, you have so much scope. You have so much scope in the keywords that you can use. So I would recommend for you, Sophie, to definitely get like a keyword tool. Now, I use eRank, that used to be Etsy Rank myself. I just found it the best one. I mean, I've used a whole host of them, and I find eRank to be the most accurate for myself, but definitely have a look, you know, explore other options. There are some free tools out there and they are amazing, but I think for your shop, the biggest thing is going to be your keywords. And it might be more difficult for you, you know, on the flip side, on the other end, because every single print that you make might be different. So you can't just go to like a list of keywords and go, oh yeah, I'm going to use that one, that one, that one, because every single print of yours is different. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, but I do generally feel like you have so much potential. I mean, your shop is doing amazing anyway. You don't need, you know, what I say, but, you know, if you're looking to push it that little bit more, and I can see in your about section, I won't scroll down there yet because knowing me, I'll lose where I am in the critique. But definitely, I do feel like you have so much scope in what you can do with your shop. So let's go to your categories. So let's have a little look. Prints for him, prints, kitchen prints there. Okay, these are also SEO heavy, and you know where you're using. Oh, you got digital downloads there. Where you're using your categories, these are also SEO heavy. So I think you're doing fine there. Maybe just have a little switcheroo and just see whether any other keyworded bits work better for you. So just gonna hop back for a second, because I've just seen this. It's given me an idea. A big light bulb has just appeared above my head. You could duplicate the listings that you have and put them as digital downloads. Oh my goodness, a fantastic way of making passive income, by the way. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think that could be something that you could do to save you from, you know, having to go and make brand new prints. You could just take these and list them as digital downloads. Yeah, anyway, let's hop back. Are they SEO optimized? I think so. I mean, the children's print section, I would probably cut that up into nursery art prints, prints for boys' rooms, prints for girls' rooms, things like that. But I do feel like this would change once you attack your target market. You know, you really delve deep with that. Get a notepad and a pen out and just go to town. I would, when I did my target market, and another thing, I think this is mentioned in the workbook, but I'm not sure, so I'll just go through it here anyway. But I went through my previous customers. I literally stalked their profiles on Etsy, any social media that they had listed. I just turned into like a little bit of a creeper, and I just essentially go in and I learn about them, and I have a look at what they do, you know, and I write all this stuff down, and eventually you will see some kind of pattern, and then you have good solid clues, well, facts if you like, as to who your target market is. Just one little note as well, be careful with copyright and things like that. I saw somewhere that you had a Disney print up there. Please. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this because I don't want this video to get lots of comments and hate, because I know that a lot of you out there, you know, you have a lot of strong views on this. I'm just here to tell you, do your research, but I would definitely just be sure not to be using like terms like Grey's Anatomy, Peter Rabbit, you know, unless you've contacted the company themselves and they've given you, you know, express written permission to do this, which I am not. I have no expertise in, so, you know, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. But please protect your shop. Protect your shop, because if you're using things like quotes, you know, you can't be using copyrighted keywords, tags, terms, pictures, you know. Please just be careful. So let's move on. Pricing. So you are using the pricing that I recommend, which is just taking a couple of pennies or 1 penny off of the price that you really want. So this one here, for example, in your head you're thinking £8, but in reality when you price it, it's £7.99. You are also running a sale on some of your items, I can see, but not others. I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe these are new and it hasn't come up on your sale yet, but definitely. What I do is I always recommend to put free UK delivery if you can, work it into the price. Now I know, guys, that the Etsy's recent announcement about the free shipping fiasco. I know that there's a lot of you out there, and I will be doing a video on it. I'm sorry that it's taken me so long. It's just that with moving and everything like that, I've looked like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards for about 2 weeks. So I mean, if you guys aren't fussed on how I look, I can by all means come on camera and just give my 2 cents about it. But I won't comment too much about it in this video because this video will be too long. But I would definitely just make sure that, especially with you as well, that I assume that your shipping isn't too much money. Work it into your pricing, whack free UK delivery on there. And I just feel like, you're done. You have this nice little green badge here. Also, put some of your items on sale as well. Let's just pop that down there. Put some of your items on sale as well because it does come up in the searches. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say on that. I think all in all, you're doing very, very well with it. And I think you're following the advice that probably myself and a lot of other Etsy people out there say. So well done for that. I'm gonna creep on your reviews for a second because that's how I roll. No, I don't really. Is it gonna cut me down? There we go. Okie dokes. Have a little look at your reviews. I like these. I think when customers post pictures like these, ask their permission, but definitely ask if you can use them on social media because, seeing nice staged pictures like that. And I think, again, your target market, I think might be what's missing from your shop because, let's say Lottie here is your target market, okay? And you know that your target market has rooms and things exactly like the picture that she's posted. As that target market, they're going to be drawn to that picture. So just please make sure that, you get your target market down first. And I feel like, with the knowledge that you've demonstrated that just by looking at your Etsy shop, you'll be away, I think you can make this full time if you just delve into your target market that little bit more. This is where I saw the Disney print. Yeah, just really be careful with that, okay? Really be careful. So your reviews, all in all, I mean, as a customer, I think I probably only go to page 5, probably maximum. 5-star reviews, well done. I'm very proud of you, well done. Perfect. I mean, I can't see any, what my point was, I don't really see any, I guess you get what you pay for. Okay, all right. I mean, yeah. As a customer, that wouldn't put me off. I don't really understand what that was about. Anyway, my point with reviews is, now, if I got this review in my shop, and I do get 4 stars, don't think I'm perfect, don't think that, I have 1,000, I don't, because I am an actual business owner, I am a human being, things go wrong, and it's okay, it's fine. But I would message the customer a nice message. I think I've got mine saved on a snippet, or what do they call them now? Saved replies. They've just changed what they're called. And I would message them and I would say, oh, hey, thank you for your feedback, thank you so much for taking the time out to do this. However, I noticed you gave me 4 stars, not 5. Is there anything I can do to improve? Was there anything that you were, disappointed by? Yada, yada, yada. Because, and I'll tell you why, purely because you learn from your customers. Now, I know not every customer is going to be right. It's not true what they say when they say customers are always right, because they're not. However, if this lady here feels that something, wasn't quite right with what she bought, it could be something that other customers are thinking as well, but not contacting you and telling you, that stops them from coming back and buying from your shop again. And I must say, since I've started doing this and changing things based on what people have said, you know, if they come back to you and just say it's too expensive, then, you know, you can kind of brush it off and be like, that's okay, they're probably just not my ideal target market. That's fine. But if they come back to you and said, oh yeah, you know, the packaging came a bit grubby, or I felt like the Jiffy bag was too big for what it was, or it was too small, that's things you can change. And I feel like ever since I've been doing this in my shop, my return customer rate has shot up because I've changed things, and, you know, it does make a difference. So that's just another little tip for your shop as well. But I can see that, you know, you've got 5-star reviews, so this probably isn't so much of an issue for you. But definitely, you know, make sure that you message people that maybe aren't so happy, and learn from reviews. I think is the big takeaway here. Learn from them. So I'm going to cross that off now. I am going to go back to Hangry Print, like it. I'm going to go back to your shop here. Let's talk about your pictures. So I'm going to go on to your Hangry Print. Okay. Right, okay. I don't know if this is something that, you know, you're doing for all of your prints. That might just be an odd one. Let's go on to this one. Load for me. Oh, Chrome, why are you doing this to me? There we go. This is what I want to see, is this. I mean, these are good. I mean, they're, yeah, okay, they're functional, but I really want to see it printed. I want to see it in a frame. I want to see it in the ideal customer's home, so that if I was your ideal target market, I would go into that and be like, yes, I love that. So this is a print for like a girl's room. So I want to see it, you know, in a proper girly room. I want to see it in a big pink room that's freshly painted, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you can't afford to get professional photographs taken, and to be honest with you, I was a bit like that at first. And then I found my photographer that I have now. I mean, it took me a year to find one, but I found her, and I tell you what, she is a lifesaver. Honestly, her pictures are amazing. I swear sometimes she reads my brain, because she knows exactly what I'm thinking. Once you find one, and I don't honestly think they're as expensive as you think they are, you know, I don't pay nearly as much as what other people pay for their pictures. You know, go on to people per hour, go on to Upwork, find someone, do some research, find someone that, you know, you can send your prints to, because it wouldn't cost you a lot, I suppose, in postage to send like a big bulk amount of prints. Or you could even email them over, and if they've got like a nice printer at their place, you know, you could even get them to print them out and take pictures there. Just a thought. But honestly, pictures are so important, and, you know, this is a lovely picture, do not get me wrong. I think this is amazing. This is an amazing picture, but my only concern is, now I am going to go, so I'm going to type in Hangry Print, okay? Ooh, wrong shop, sorry. I'm going to type in Hangry Print because my concern is that a lot of people are doing what you're doing, and I think that is a mock-up, isn't it, that you're using? See, a lot of people are doing the same thing. They just have the, you know, and to be honest with you, these prints all look the same. Like, as a shopper at this point, honestly, at this point, I would literally just be sort of like, okay, well, they're all the same, so let's go price low to high. You know what I mean? Like, just to get some, you've got 462 results here. That's not a lot, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you know, there's so many. That's a nice one. That does, you know, that attracts me just because it's got the cooking utensils and herbs and things here. They're probably not herbs, but, you know, they could be herbs. But that attracts me. That attracts me because it's bold in a sea of plain, you know, prints. that attracts me because it's in a kitchen. I mean, I don't like how dark it is, but you know, oh, this definitely attracts me. This is the one here, definitely. Let's have a look. Yeah, Sophie, I think you can honestly see where I'm coming from, probably, if you know you're watching this. With your prints, because it's such a saturated market, and obviously, like I said, that's not a bad thing. That just means there are a lot of people wanting what you sell. So don't for a minute think that's bad. But you have to, it's your job to, every print that you do, now I'm not saying every single print, but you know, I've just taken a random print from your shop, typed it in, and this is what's come up. It's just plain, you know, plain prints, you know, black and white on an A4 sheet of paper, job done. But it's essentially, it's your job to go and have a look and sort of try and pinpoint elements of pictures that you like. So for example, I pointed out that I liked, you know, this sort of style where you have some frame of reference. So it's not just like a frame in a background, it's also got, you know, things that relate to that print. So for example, where's that kitchen one gone? It's sneaked off somewhere. Is it back a page? Is it back a page? Oh geez, sorry about my internet today, guys. I do not know what Virgin are playing at. Load, damn it. There we go. So I like that because it's got props that relate to the print, and if I was buying this, I would be buying it for my kitchen, let's be honest. So, you know, I would be wanting something that draws me in, that goes, oh yeah, I can imagine my, you know, lovely clean pot of 2 wooden spoons, which wouldn't happen because they would be covered in red sauce from spaghetti. But, you know, and I would want to see that, and I would want to go, okay, yeah, I can see that working in my kitchen. So yeah, I think you probably get what I mean. I kind of, in a roundabout way, said that you have to research what others are doing for the type of prints that you sell, and make sure that your pictures stand out and they have, you know, their own running theme. These pictures are fantastic, but I want to see more not modelled. I guess it is modelled. Stage shots, I guess is what I mean. So I hope you get what I mean. You don't want the background to be too distracting, but I think, you know, having a few props in there is absolutely fine. Be a nice human. I like that. Also as well, make sure not to make, you know, the font's too hard to read, because that I had to sort of sit here for a couple of seconds to sort of really read what that is. And honestly, when I say people shop like this, they shop like that. So if your print does not grab their attention in the millisecond that it takes for them to, you know, literally just do what I'm doing and just scroll like this, you know, you have to make sure that your picture grabs the buyer's attention, is what I'm trying to say. SEO. Oh, let's go on to your, I'm going to drag that tab across here so it's a bit easier. So SEO. Right, so I've typed in Hangry Print, and I have this extension called Keywords Everywhere that drops down, you know, that tells me, the normal Etsy bar does this little drop down as well, but what this does, it basically tells me the search volume every single month. So you've got 260 people searching Hangry Print every single month, which is good because there's only 462 results. So you are on to a winner when it comes to that keyword. Definition prints. I don't know what definition prints. Oh, I see the definition of right, okay. Angry print, definition quote, funny kitchen signs. Now, title length. Have you experimented, Sophie, with the shorter titles? I'd be interested to hear, because I did an experiment with it for about 3 months, and I found that they just flopped. I took my 20 best-selling listings, copied them, only changed the title length. I kept the, you know, the keywords that were bringing me the traffic for those listings, but I made them shorter. I literally changed nothing else, and they just flopped. So I don't know whether or not it's just my shop, whether it's just UK shops, whether it was just my title will be full is absolutely fine. Maybe experiment with slightly shorter titles. I like how this is very clear though. I like how you've got space, dash, space. Commas, which I do use. Commas can be a little bit confusing at times because I feel like they don't separate the words quite as much as you kind of hoped. Etsy, I mean, from what I can gather, the shorter title fiasco is purely just so that, when people are reading titles, and shopping like what I've just showed you by literally just, scrolling like this, people only see this sort of beginning bit. So I assume they mean make sure that all of your important information is at the beginning of the title, because that's all that you see once you're scrolling through. The title thing, I'm struggling to sort of find any more info than just that. A lot of the info out there is just literally people, they're giving their opinions on it, when in reality they haven't done their research themselves. I always go for the safe option. Test it for your shop. Seriously, don't take what anyone says as read, apart from what comes out of Etsy's mouth. Definitely make sure to test it for your shop, because at the end of the day, if you test it and it works, fantastic. You don't need to wonder anymore. You go and you change the titles, but make sure that you copy the listing and don't just go in and change the titles of the things that bring you the most traffic or sell the most for you. That is definitely one big thing. Just going to make sure I am... Yes, I'm still recording. Jolly good. 35 minutes. Not bad. We are on a roll. So, yeah, SEO. I would try and shorten this a little tad, because I think there's a couple of little things in here that maybe, definition quote, funny kitchen signs. I would focus more on the kitchen aspect of this. You've got funny kitchen signs, food lover's gift, food quote, food lover's art. Sophie, maybe you could pop in the description box below how your SEO is working out for you. Are you getting visits? Are you getting the visits but not any sales? Is your shop doing fine? I don't know. I feel like your keyword, the way that you're researching keywords and the ways that, I'm just going to go on to this one, see if it's different. The way that you're doing lyric quote, kitchen print, coffee. Have you got coffee addict gift, coffee lover gift? The only advice I can give to you about your SEO is use a tool like eRank or Etsy Rank, as you might know it. Use the Etsy search bar and literally use the exact phrases that people use. So if I type in coffee lover gift, so coffee lovers, weirdly enough, has 14,800 searches a month. Coffee lover gift has 200. So I would put coffee lovers in there somewhere. Exact matches usually rank higher. So if you've got like coffee in there and lovers in there, then that it will rank for that search, but not as high as if someone was putting coffee lovers print kitchen, whatever. So just do a little bit more research on that. I feel like with the whole SEO thing that nothing has actually changed, but I feel like people are changing things, and this is bizarre, but Etsy SEO, apart from the change they did, I think it was last year, was it now? I'm not sure. I feel like it hasn't changed. All they've said is that they're aiming for shorter titles, which I understand. And I think it's not from an SEO perspective myself. It's more from a readability aspect, which you don't seem to have a problem with, really. But I would love it if you would just comment below and just let me know how your SEO is working out for you. The biggest thing I would say is, number one, make sure that you are using phrases that are actually being searched. And I don't know if you've had this, this extension, installed where it tells you the search volume. That could be useful for you as well. Also, are you just using the Etsy search bar? Are you using Etsy Rank? Are you using Pinterest? Because let me tell you, I did sort of go onto your Pinterest. Oh, you need to just get pinning, girl. Where are your pins? You are... Okay, I'm going to go into that in a second. This is going to be a long critique. Sorry, Sophie. But just type in coffee lover. It actually brings you up like all these wonderful keywords that people are actually using. Aesthetic, beauty. So do a little bit of research. If I type in like kitchen prints or kitchen wall art or something like that, art, printable art, illustration, wall, black and white, you know, ideas, funny, you could put funny in there. I don't think you've got funny in there anywhere, have you? Like that, it's funny. I like that, it makes me laugh. And the same with the hangry one, you know, funny kitchen. I mean, you have got funny kitchen signs in there, but you know, that is a key word that people are using for. Farmhouse as well. So, you know, if someone has just bought an older looking house, they're wanting something that fits with the general theme of their new home, that's something you could use. So already, just by typing in kitchen prints on Pinterest, I've got so many keyword ideas, and also new product ideas. Little hint, you know, rustic, decor, pattern, retro. You could see that and go, do you know what? I know of a shop that has really good retro clip art. Off your top, you know, you've got some more print ideas, and you know, you're almost guaranteed traffic because you've got, you know, the keywords coming in from Pinterest. So I'm going to stop talking about SEO now, because I feel like, you know, you're doing okay with it. I'd like to sort of know a little bit more background about whether it's working out for you, what sort of tools you're using. I could probably give you more insight and give you more help if I sort of knew where you were at with your SEO at the moment. So pop a comment down below. I'm going to go to your about page. Oh, also guys, Etsy shop updates. I can see you're doing it. Please use them. They are so undervalued. They pop up on, you know, on the people that have favoured your shop. Etsy's updates pop up on their homepage. Let me start again. On the people that have favoured your shop, when they go onto their Etsy page, right on the, I think it's like on the, you scroll twice, it's on the, just below the fold. So basically, if you scroll down your Etsy homepage, you will see updates from Etsy shops that you have favoured, and it's a shop update. So make sure that you're shop updating, that's the new term, shop updating, or you're posting shop updates every week at least. That's just my little 2 cents. You have a video, well done. I can't play it through the software that I'm using, I don't think, because it sends it a bit doolally, so I will watch that later on. Yes, oh yes, perfect. I've got that printer, snap. Do you know what? It's a fantastic printer and it doesn't cost that much. And I love my printer. My Canon is amazing. The only thing is that the inks cost a bomb, but never mind. I love the fact that you've got that little logo up there as well. I love your workspace. I am jealous because right now I am working, I shouldn't probably tell you this guys, but I'm working on a paste table with my laptop plugged into a socket that isn't even attached to the wall. Please don't do this. Like, this is a do not try this at home thing, but seriously, like my life at the minute is just in boxes. Anyway, so how I print and package your prints, I like that. Do you know what? Your about section, pictures are absolutely perfect. Nothing I could say about that whatsoever. Your written section, I want to see a lot more. I want to see probably triple the amount what you've got here. I want to learn all about you, Sophie. I want to know, you know, who are you? What are you about? How did you come to, you know, I know that grammar for hinge 5 stars. I want to know, you know, how exactly did you get started in printing? You know, was it that you bought a new home and you couldn't find a print that you wanted from any stores that you went to, so you decided to make your own, and then you discovered this love of design, fonts, all that kind of thing. You know, I want to know that. I really want to know that. But all in all, you've got pictures of your family, your workspace. I'm so jealous of your workspace, Sophie. Like, so jealous. I could just sit here. Like, I love to snoop on people's workspaces because I'm there like, I could have that, and I could have a big clipboard, and what a good idea. You know, like, you just end up, you know, here for days. Anyway, I'm going to go onto your socials. You have your own website as well. I won't critique this now, but fan-dabby-dozy, fantastic. Very proud of you for having your own website. However, you've got this sort of clash of your logos. I'm still not entirely sure. So I just had to pause there for a moment to restart my voice-taking app on my phone. Anyway, I'm still not entirely sure what your... I see you can't scroll down. Oh, sorry, I thought you could scroll down. Okay, just 2 little things. I said I wouldn't critique your shop. 2 little things. pop some more print. Like, I want to scroll down. I want to be able to scroll through your homepage and be met with your, ideal target market aesthetic. And also, I want to sort of know what actually is your logo. Is it this or is it that? Proudly created with Wix.com. I think, is it Wix, the one that you have to upgrade to get rid of that? Obviously, it's not the be all and end all. Does your shop link back to your Etsy shop? Yeah, it does. Okay. So you haven't actually got an e-commerce, capability on your website. Do you know what I would do? I would upgrade, I personally use Shopify. I always link it down below. I know you're happy with your website and you're with Wix, but girl, with the social media following you have, you need to have your own site. You need to sell on your own website. Seriously, you do. You have a beautiful blog. You have, your shop. I just don't know why you're not, selling on your own site. I mean, if you're happy with Wix and you know how it works, fantastic. I personally found it a little bit clunky myself. My Handmade Bosses blog is hosted by, who's it hosted by? Squarespace. I was with Weebly. I found it a little bit clunky, so I went to Squarespace. That is even more clunky, but to be honest with you, the capability of it is a lot better, in my opinion. But for e-commerce, my main website, so my main handmade website, which I make a fair few sales through, is hosted with Shopify. Honestly, they make it so easy for you just to go in there, whack up your print. Even if you want to do digital downloads, they can do that for you too. So honestly, explore it. I will leave the link down below, and you get a free 14-day trial with the link that I'll give you. So honestly, because you're doing so well on social media, you are driving traffic to your Etsy shop, which is okay, but would you not rather be selling on your own website as well as your Etsy shop, because they can both complement each other? That is completely possible because I've done it. Let's get rid of my girlies chat. Sorry, guys. See, you're doing so well with social media. You've got your own little shop on there as well. I love this. I like the fact as well that you do. You're renovating too, are you? Huh. You feel my pain then. Oh, I love your bedroom. Oh, jeez. I'm in love with that bed. I don't think I should scroll down anymore, because I think I'm in danger of spending more money than I already have on this blinking bungalow that we've bought. Anyway, my point is that you're doing amazing on social media. But you're driving traffic to your Etsy shop. I would drive traffic to your own shop. Seriously, yeah. I think I've made my point on that. Your Instagram. I am impressed with your Instagram, girl. I love it. I love it. You are, I like the fact that you've got all the quotes down here as well. It's nice and, streamlined. You're sharing snippets of your life. Do you know what I like about it as well? Is that you're sharing little bits of your life that isn't on any other social media. And that's what I love. You've also got these little bits up here. Do you know what? I can't remember what these are called. I did another shop critique and I could not remember what it was called, so sorry about that. Follow back. Sorry, I thought I was following you. I feel awful now. I have followed you back. It's on video, proof. So sorry, Sophie. Anyway, yeah, I would definitely, get your own website up and running. You have your blog now, Sophie. Now. So I've got another video on my YouTube where it's on my Pinterest series, which is a 2-part series on Pinterest. Now, as you're completely new to Pinterest, definitely watch it. Definitely. Because I think if you're on Pinterest, I seriously, 100% in my heart of hearts feel like you could be getting at least a sale a day if you were using Pinterest. It will probably take you 6 months to get up to a standard that, gets you regular traffic. My Pinterest is this, and I can tell you I get a sale a day from Pinterest myself. A good third of my traffic comes from Pinterest, but it's all targeted traffic. So what I do with mine is that I I make boards that my target market are interested in, and I pin a lot of other stuff to it. So I pin probably about 80% other pieces. So for example, on this chakra healing and spirituality aesthetic, that's a mouthful, I pin 80% about, you know, the chakras and crystals and things like that, and 20% my own products. So you'll see like some of my necklaces spattered in there, cute gifts for your niece, things like that. So hopefully you get what I mean. I do go into detail on this on my 2 videos on my channel, so definitely look into it, because I seriously feel like, you know, this and your target market, I feel like, and your website as well, are the 3 biggest things I think will explode your growth. I really do. So Sophie, I've talked about Pinterest, I've had a little look on your website. So your blog, I mean, I do go into it in detail on the Pinterest video, but if you blog, you can make pins for your blog based on what I say in that video. I won't go through it now because it's quite a long process, but go and check out that video. Basically, you can get traffic to your own website through your blog from Pinterest, but if you're not selling anything on your website, then it creates a bit of a disconnect. So definitely make sure that you have an e-commerce website set up. I would recommend Shopify. Start doing Pinterest. As far as your Etsy goes, I mean, obviously you've probably written things down from what I've said, but the biggest things I can think of is your pictures. Have a little look at your, where am I going? There we go. Have a little look at your SEO. All in all though, you have a beautiful shop, and honestly, I feel like, you know, you've expressed in your about page that you love to do it full time. I think you can. I think you're very nearly there. There's just always like a few little things that just click everything else into place. I definitely found this. When I went full time in my shop, so I quit the job. I mean, I don't know if I've done an about me video. I don't think I have. Another video idea. When I went full time in my shop, I was making, I mean, not a lot. It was enough for me to live off of, but I deliberately quit my job when I just about had enough, because I know how my brain works. And this is a big thing as well. Your mindset. I knew how my brain worked. I knew that, okay, I am driven by like fear, which sounds awful, I know, but I was driven by this fear of, oh my goodness, I have to work hard in my shop, because if I don't, I haven't got a job. So I don't know if you're a Friends fan, Sophie, but you know when Chandler Bing says you need the fear, well, I gave myself the fear, like with a capital F, seriously. But it worked because I definitely delved more time into it. Obviously I had more time, but I put more effort into my Etsy shop, and it did pay off so much. So I'm going to stop rambling now. Sorry, Sophie, that this was so long. I hope you got some value. Leave a comment down below, Sophie, if you're watching. I love your shop. I love you. And for everyone else watching out there, take a look at my other videos. Subscribe to my channel for other Etsy tips and tricks and things like that. And other exciting things are coming, guys. Exciting things. I'm so excited. And I will see you all soon. Bye.